introductions. Just a quick show here. We're about to start, but
Lou, I want Jared to introduce me.
Okay.
Reintroduce me, Jared.
So, the love of my life, right here, Jocelyn.
Hello.
Mike.
And I wanted her to meet Netta particularly. So see Netta right there. That's Netta.
I feel like a celebrity.
Good, how are you doing?
Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
So those of you who get to know me know that my head's in the clouds trying to save the Jewish world, and Jocelyn keeps me grounded. So, by the way, I call her my Egyptian Jewish princess. She was born in Cairo, Egypt, left when she was 6 years old, and she's a graphic designer. And in 1986, not only did we get married, but we started a nonprofit organization called Young Jewish Leadership Concepts. And because she's a graphic designer, at least in the beginning, it looked nice professionally. Now I need your guys' help to make us look professional and keep things going. So on the call right now, Kylie brought her friend Ilan. Kylie's in Chicago with her friend Ilan, whose parents spent some time in Israel. It affected them so much that they decided to give their son an Israeli Hebrew name. And why don't we do this? Why don't we go around and you can do a quick introduction of yourselves. The main purpose of what I want to accomplish this morning is for Netta to understand that there's Jewish young adults in America who appreciate being Jewish, appreciate a connection to Israel, and want to learn about Israel, make connections. And the understory is that we're looking to have Netta as not only my friend, but your friend, and we will do, with her help, make connections in Israel to do things mirroring what we're doing in America. So Kylie, I'm going to ask you to do a quick introduction of yourself, and then you can introduce Ilan, and we'll go around.
Okay. I just graduated. I'm from Illinois, the suburbs of Chicago, and I just graduated from University of Illinois, and I'm moving to Washington, D.C. in July. Yeah, I have news. And I'm going to be working for the U.S. Department of Energy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then Ilan is my friend.
Good morning. I'm Ilan. I live here in Chicago. I'm 23. I work for the Ministry of Finance. Israel is something that's always been very important to me, and I'm excited to hear from you, Netta. Thank you for joining us.
Fantastic. And I'm sure, Ilan, you're going to want to have some conversations with Mike because he's very much into finance, and maybe he'll jump on some kind of financial connection with Israel through you.
Sounds good.
So, Sophia, while you're walking, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. I'm Sophia. I just graduated from Emory in Atlanta last year, and I work for the Israeli consulate in New York. I'm the director of academic affairs, which was Lou's past job. So he coaches me through a lot of situations, which I'm very thankful for.
Great. And okay, fantastic. And is Sarah on? There you are. So introduce yourself, Sarah.
Hi, I'm in LA right now, and yeah, I'm sorry. I might have to jump out at some point because I have this Hebrew class, and so, but it's really great to meet you. Thanks for coming, and thanks for organizing, Lou.
Thank you. So, wow. So, Sarah, a little bit more about yourself while we got you.
Yeah, so I recently graduated law school, and I've moved out to LA and plan to be working here.
Oh, so you're officially now in LA?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, great. Mazal tov to you. So we have both coasts, and fantastic. So
yep.
We have to make sure we don't start earlier than 10 a.m. Eastern because it's 7 by you.
It's fine.
Okay, great. So Jared, why don't you pop in and introduce yourself, and you can introduce Michael at the end, after you. Your mute is on, Jared.
Yes, sorry, I apologize for that. I was actually just finishing up breakfast, and I myself, I have to get ready. I actually have work at 11 o'clock, and I still haven't showered and got dressed yet. So I apologize to you, Netta, that I'm not going to be able to stay. I wasn't sure how long this call was actually going to be. Yes, my name is Jared Jasmine. I live in Norristown, which is a town outside of Philadelphia. I work at T-Mobile. That's my day job. My night job is super. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very enthusiastic about this group. It's a good way to get back in touch with my roots, and I'll just ease right into my transition to introducing Mike. I'm really excited that he's on the call. Michael Kuritz, if I can call him by full name. I met him actually at a convention center. We were both at. Mike, where was that convention? Was that in
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. All right. So we had got to talking. I was trying to sell my product. He was trying to sell his, but there was a common interest there. And then I had spoke to him. He referred to himself as a name I won't share with the group, but I thought it was funny, and I said we have that in common. So I just I called him up because Lou, I guess I became
Called him a mensch.
Yes, that's it, a mensch of sorts. So I had called him up because I basically I took it upon myself in a vote with the group that I was going to be a person who could try to recruit as many people as I could. So I called up Mike and I said, listen, all things Israel, all things Judaism on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested would you say you are? And he comes back with an exclamatory 9 out of 10. So I'm like, Mike, you got to get in this group. You got to talk about what we talk about, and you're gonna love it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jared. Now, Jared, because you're a high-tech guy, you could have your phone on. I don't know if you have your phone. You can take it with you and listen in as we continue if you want.
Lou, that's a little invasive. I love the energy and I love the thought, but I need to.
You need to focus.
I love your energy, Lou. I love your energy, Lou. I love your enthusiasm.
Okay.
But I'm probably going to have to step off at this time. I'm really sorry to the group. I apologize. I wasn't completely sure of what was actually going on here. So, best of luck to all you guys, and have a great weekend.
Great. Jared, I have to tell you, it's because of you and introducing Mike that we found the most convenient time for Mike, which we got the most attendance.
Mike's a great guy.
I'm busy from like 11. I got an 11 too, but obviously I'll be able to stay until that 11 on the dot. So
I definitely vouch for Mike. I mean, I only knew him for a short time, but he feels like the real package, the real article. And listen, it's Sunday morning, everybody. At least over here, we're on that, so it's a good day.
As a kid, I used to dream of being a Maccabi basketball star. That's how.
Listen,
Mike, that's how strong my 9 is.
Let's play some pickup basketball at JCC.
Great, and we'll introduce you to, as Netta knows, my good friend Tal Brody, Israel's basketball.
I'm gonna tune out, guys.
Okay.
Sarah,
thank you so much.
Congrats on your move. Best of luck there, and be safe.
Enjoy LA, Sarah.
Thank you. Yeah, hope you're doing well.
Kylie, what was your friend's name? It was nice meeting him. Elon. Alon, it was nice meeting you.
You
All
too.
right, take care. All right, bye.
So, Mike, anything else you want to say in self-introduction?
I guess I think maybe it was a mistake having Jared introduce me. Looking back now, maybe I make a different decision on that one. But I thought it would be entertaining, and the entertainment value that attracted me to it. So I just kind of jumped into there. So I'm Mike Kuritz. I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up like outside of the city my whole life, and yeah, I loved basketball. We actually, when I was a kid, I had like a guy named Irv McGee, who was Jewish, who trained me in basketball. and yeah, I always wanted to visit Israel, and I've yet to make my voyage, my journey, to Israel. I grew up in my Temple Beth Am area, Abington area. So that was my synagogue. Rabbi Lee was my rabbi.
Great guy.
He's got to be famous. He's the best. Great guy. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like my area / upbringing. I'm in finance. I'm technically an accredited FMBA, so I do like valuation analysis. But I'm working for a startup company that does sell healthy food through your phone, basically. So they have an app, they have like a website, and they're the fastest growing company in Europe, and they're in 13 countries now. So they've expanded quite a bit. So I'm working for them, and then I'm doing obviously lots of different investment stuff besides that. So those are the two things basically, I guess, and then my background. So
Well, that's fantastic. And you bring a lot of, also, as Jared was talking, a lot of energy, a lot of positive, cool things. And
I'm a fun guy. You guys see me drinking my water. I had a good night last night.
Great. And before I get a chance to introduce Netta, I have to introduce another good friend. I'm so happy to be on this call. Asya is a dance professional, a dance artist, and she also coordinates one of the most successful programs for young professionals in the greater Philadelphia, the Hevra. And they do trips to Israel regularly. So Netta, you'll probably meet Asya in person sometime. She's phenomenal. She teaches, she leads, and I'm so excited that she's joined us this morning here. So Netta, before we get you started, and it's going to be a lot of back and forth friendly dialogue here. Asya, I just want to know, Kylie is in Chicago with her friend Ilan. Sarah is in Los Angeles, Sarah? Okay. Sophia is in New York, and Michael is in the northern suburbs of Philadelphia. So we got a nice group. This is our key leadership for YJLC, our budding new key leadership. And Asya, it's so good to have you. Now, it's to me, I get so much joy in what I do working for the Jewish people and working for Israel, because I meet some phenomenal people. It was at the IAC, Israel American Council, in December in Miami, that I went to, they had booths from all these different organizations from Israel, all over the US, displaying what they do for Israel and the Jewish community. And I went up to the one that Netta was sitting at. It's what represented the elite unit of IDF, 669 unit, which is responsible for all the international rescue that we hear about in the news. And I said, oh boy, you can finally confirm something for me. I'm the National Director of American Friends of Kappa Medical Center. And when I said that, Netta's smile broadened, as I see her smile every time I talk with her. And she confirmed part of what my day job is, part of the strategic value of Kappa Medical Center, because it's 3 miles away from the Tel Nof Air Force Base in Rehovot. And Netta told this amazing story of one of her Hayelets, one of her soldiers, recruits being saved, her life being saved, because a doctor was there on hand shortly. Anyway, that was back in December. And again, my joy is I make wonderful friends. Most of them are a couple years younger than me, but not mentally, but this is where I'm at. And we've had wonderful conversations. Netta participated in a Zoom conference with Tal Brody and another hero of Israel, Niven Sigal Nehemia, which is a different story. You saw the flyer about it. But I really wanted Netta to meet some dynamic young professionals in America, to know that we're building a bridge of connection between you guys, your peers, and a strong connection to Israel. And we have a tremendous friend in Israel to help us out, Netta Menashe. So Netta, how's that for an introduction?
It's very nice, thank you.
So tell us a bit about yourself first, and then we'll get into what you do.
Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you, Lou, for inviting me. I'm glad to be here. My name is Netta Menashe. I'm 27 years old. I live in Jerusalem, and these days I'm finishing my degree in Ben-Gurion University in education and business. I joined the army in 2011, you know, like everyone else, but I was 6 years in the army, not 2. I loved the army. I loved everything there. So I was an officer, commander? Yes, commander. Right? How do you say the rank of commander? Yeah, commander. So I was an operation officer of an F-16 fighter squadron at the north, Ramat David, near Haifa. And later I was an operation officer of 669 unit. And my last job was the IDF executive director to the president of Israel, of Reuven Rivlin. 669, I think, was one of my best years in the army, the hardest, but the best. If you know, so 669 is the combat search and rescue unit of Israeli Air Force, one of the 4 elite units, and one of the premier special operations units of the IDF. And the unit squads are ready for action to save lives 24/7. And during my years in the unit, I served at Tzuk Eitan and many more rescue missions in Israel and beyond borders, places that we only can imagine. And I'm happy to be here, and if you have questions for me, I will be happy to answer you.
Well, Netta, first of all, I apologize, guys, that because of the wonders of modern technology, I can take this whole office to a whole different area, and I moved down to my office in the bowels of okay. And we have someone new. Netta, I want to introduce you to another amazing, amazing friend who's one of our, well, let me put him on board first. And if I'm not wrong, we're going to have Steve Schimmel in our call. Steve, are you with us? So Netta and YJLC gang, I want to introduce you to our past chairman. There he is. Okay, Steve Schimmel is the past national chairman for Young Jewish Leadership Concepts. He is the Jewish Federation director in Central Massachusetts. And I don't know if it's still current or not, but he has been known as the youngest Jewish Federation director in the country. So, Steve, it's so good to see you. And we have some amazing friends here, Kylie and Ilan in Chicago. We have Michael in northern suburbs of Philadelphia. Sophia's in New York. Sarah's in Los Angeles.
The Phillies.
And Asya's also in Philadelphia or Jersey, I don't know, or going between. And our special guest is Netta Menashe in Jerusalem, who's an officer with the 669 unit, who's sharing with us her story. of her involvement protecting lives, not just in Israel, but maybe you can share with us a story of some of the international rescue that you've done. Netta.
Excuse me, I read the chat.
So is there any special stories of international rescue that come to mind you want to share with us that you're allowed to?
Most of them, if it's beyond board, so I cannot tell, but you just need to understand that in every single moment, and I know it sounds crazy, but this is a reality for us. In every single moment, IDF, Tzahal is not also in all, is not in Israel, and that's it. It's also in many countries. Also can be like a couple of miles from Israel, and can be also with the helicopters or flights hours from Israel, and the 669 unit gives Tzahal the rescue operations if they need. We really don't want to get a situation that Tzahal is called, is that 669 is called to rescue Tzahal, because that means it's the baddest situation we can go through. But it's every time, it's every second in the mostly Arab countries, there is a force of IDF and many operations which are very important to all of us. I have a lot of, like in Tzuk Eitan, we had I think 300 missions to get soldiers that was injured in Gaza outside. Some of them is with specific cars that we use, and some of them with helicopters. A lot of stories and a lot of people that are alive today because of these soldiers that rescued them.
And as operations manager, you had central responsibility for that, right?
Yes, I'm not at the battlefield, but at the unit, and need to get the helicopters there, give them all the information, decided which doctors will go to the mission, which soldiers will go, and many decisions that till today I think about the decisions I had to make every day, and it's not easy.
Mm-hmm. Is there any mission that you can tell us about that you're most proud of? I know there's hundreds of them, but
I just thought about it these days that I cannot remember. I think 95% of the missions I had, the operations I had during the 2 years I've been there. Like, and also Tzuk Eitan, I don't remember, maybe 28% of what I've been there. I just, I thought I will remember it for a long time, but
right.
I'm not sure why, but I don't remember. Maybe it's psychologically.
Well, it's understood. You're always
Yes.
on call, on duty, and it's one after the other, and you're there and you're saving lives, which is beautiful. When I met you, you told the story of the doctor who came in, who you called in, that saved the life of the Chayelet. And I shared with you that my understanding also regarding the hospital is that 669 helps with the international rescue when there's disasters overseas. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct, yes.
So are there any places that you can tell us about 669 went to? Did you have any role in any of those?
I think you're familiar with Haiti. 669 was there, and there was in Burgas, פיגוע in Burgas in 2012, I think, that a couple of Israelis died there. And
Did you have a role in any of those?
if what? I'm sorry?
Did you have a personal role in any of those?
Yes, but not on the battlefield,
Right.
behind.
No. But we now
Yes.
understand what your job
Yes.
is. Your job is support to make sure that lives are saved. But the question is, which of those incidents that we read about in the papers were you the one in the background making sure that lives were saved?
So it's just every day. If you see on paper the people that go to car accidents or soldiers that killed. Like last week, there was no last week, 2 weeks ago, there was a soldier that killed in Ramallah. Amit Ben Yigal, the מחבל throw a stone on his face, and he died there. So this is a 669 rescue that failed, but also a rescue.
With
Many
Haiti,
famous stories.
with Haiti, were you involved with the Haiti rescue?
Me, no, because it was many years ago, but the unit, yes.
Okay. So any international rescue like Haiti that you were personally involved with?
I remember we got prepared to these things, but we didn't call them on the last minute.
Okay.
If it was not in Romania a couple of years ago, there are 2 helicopters that crashed on each other because of weather. So this was an operation outside boards. Yes.
There must be a lot of sadness in what you do, because in the effort of saving lives, you can't be there in time to save everyone. So you probably feel a lot of sadness at times.
Right. But I was more sad that when I quit the unit, because when I first wake up in the morning and my phone stopped ringing, and I didn't have the opportunity to save lives, so then I got really sad.
But you left for a higher purpose to get your advanced degree, right?
Right, and one of the reasons I got out, I got out of the army is because it was too much hard mentally, it was difficult.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have life like everyone that is 23, 4, 5 should have.
Okay. But you haven't lost your connection. Matter of fact, you have a new role with 669, right?
Right. I also work at the alumni of 669, and during my duty serve, last week I've been 2 days in the unit. And when I put the uniform, it's like also I'm excited, but also I feel like I'm an actor, because it's another life in our life. There is the regular life and there is the army's life. And sometimes when I don't know if you've been there, but if you drive on Tel Aviv near the Azrieli Mall, so you can see the Kirya near Israeli Mall. The Kirya is where all the best commanders sit. And sometimes when I look at there, I say to myself, what is the real word, on the left or on your right? Who is
the mall or the IDF?
Yes.
Well, that's.
I think that it's best that we don't know many things that happens. It's best for your soul not to know what's going on.
Right. So you talk about, and for our young professionals to understand, which many of them do, at your stage of life, you've gotten your degree, your working career, but in Israel, Netta had her army service. She went back afterwards to get her degree, and now as an Israeli, she has to reserve time every year for reserve duty, and it's a whole mental change because she goes back to reserve duty, and no longer is she a private citizen. She's mifachkedet neta. Everyone salutes and looks up to her, and she has to make decisions again. It's a life that you love, right?
I love it, but last time I was in the unit, I told them that I don't want to get into konenut, you know?
Old Pam?
Konenut.
Ilan, do you know that word?
He took a
stepped
break
out.
for a minute.
He
Yeah.
stepped out. Okay. So, okay.
So I didn't want to be the one that needs to make the hard decisions these days. I prefer that another officer will take these decisions and not me.
Mm-hmm.
It's very complicated to wake up as an officer and go to sleep as a student, and you have homework to do and all of this. It's too much.
So I'm going to open up the questions, but I was so excited when I last spoke with you, and you told me that after graduating, you have a new job and you're working on the alumni of the 669 unit, which means that you have the most amazing network of committed Israelis who've done their service, who've been involved saving lives, and you have a key role with the alumni unit. Tell us a little bit about what you do there, and then I'm going to open up for questions.
Okay, so the alumni is helping soldiers that finish to be soldiers and come back to citizens with a scholarship to academic school, and give the soldiers the opportunity to go to with all their team they're served with to a 1 week trip specific in Romania, which they making therapy psychologically therapists because of the things they had during their serve, and we're making calls and about the money of the alumni and what we should do to make better the life of the soldiers in the unit. That's
Beautiful work. And I want to open up for questions, but one more thing. In our discussions, and not just in my discussions, as we talk about the activities that we do in America, dealing with some real issues of connection among young professionals, the holidays coming up, a leadership weekend, Bezrat Hashem. Steve can tell us about the Pocono rafting weekends, how great they are. Maybe you'll be visiting New York in August, and we might be able to have you join us, and everyone can meet you personally. But one of the things that Netta, you and I spoke about is, as we do programs in the States, we might have an outreach network with you. And I'm thinking, as part of what you do with the psychological health of the 669 alumni, they might really get into the kind of things that we've been talking about, mirroring in Israel what we're doing in the States.
sounds interesting, yeah.
Good. So it's open now for questions. You can raise your hand or whatever if there's anything that comes to mind that you want to chat with Netta about.
Hey, I've got a question. Steve, this is Steve Schimmel. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
My question is, what are the skills that you need to be successful in that particular job versus other areas of the IDF? Because the mission that you have is is different than other departments or other specific units. What would make someone successful in your unit versus somewhere else in the IDF?
Okay, it's a good question. If you want to be a soldier, combat rescue, you need to be you need to have 1.5 years of exhausting imunim.
Exercises?
Exercise, yes. You need to be able to swim, to dive, 2 stars, to snapping, to do snapping.
Repellent?
In English?
Off a mountain?
סנפלינג עם החבלים שיורדים ככה בהר.
Off a mountainside.
Yes.
Like rappelling.
Repelling, right.
And you need the most important thing you need to have is some touch to connection to medical, because all of the teams are or paramedics or doctors or something medical with the medical train. And the issue is that it can go from 0 to 100 in a minute. Like the siren in the unit it comes whenever they need you, and it's like a movie. A siren, everybody runs, helicopters, like a movie.
Thank you.
Asya, any thoughts, any questions?
Yeah, I have a somewhat funny question. So, well, it's not a funny question, but I don't know if it's going to make sense. So, first of all, Netta, thank you so much for being with us, and also forgive me if the question sounds a little bit crazy, but
It's okay.
before you were saying with Amit that happened recently, you said that was a failed search and rescue. So, do you have what do you mean by I guess the question is, I'm just thinking practically, like as by the minutes are going, how long does the unit attempt to fix the situation, and how do they understand to stop, or when do they stop trying?
So who can call the okay, sorry about my English. The person that can call the unit to an action is police, IDF, MADA, etc. And the unit have 15 minutes to go from nothing, from sitting in the unit or drinking something, eating something, 15 minutes from this to go to the helicopter, to the vehicles and then helicopters and go up. So this is option 1. And option 2 is that we have specific helicopters for specific operations. And like if we know that IDF is having an operation at Lebanon, so we have a specific team that sits in the helicopters near, as close as they can be to this place, and it stops when you got the patient on the helicopter, fly to the hospital, come back, clean the hospital, do הפקת לקחים, תחקיר, איך אומרים את זה?
עוד פעם?
הפקת לקחים, תחקיר.
Okay. Kylie, where's Ilan? That's okay. My Hebrew sometimes fails me, but you're responsible from the start, from the ready to go on the mission, to complete the mission, to come back. Maybe, Asya, were you thinking about, is there times when you have to say, we can't do anything more, we have to cut short? Is that the question? Or is that what you're thinking?
Right. Well, she answered the question from my perspective, but yes, I was thinking, like, because in general I understand, you know, what the mission, what the task is, but then it's just, I'm wondering, you know, minute by minute, because it's hard to, I guess, know. I guess I'm trying to picture, without her saying too much, like, to make sure that they are doing everything they can, but sometimes it's already, you know, there's nothing that can be done. So just thinking about the practical steps from there, and how does
the commander at the field, he will make the decisions if he needs more people from the unit that come to help him, more helicopters. He never says I cannot do it. It cannot happen. And the bad situation is that he gets there and this person is already dead, and then it completes without taking him most of the times. But the missions are 100% are making done without questions.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Amazing work, amazing work. Sophia, our friend in the New York Israeli consulate, do you have any thoughts or questions? You're on mute.
I don't have any specific questions, but I wanted to thank you so much for your service and everything. It's really incredible to hear.
Thank you.
And part of this, all of us meeting together on Zoom, we're all now friends. So Sophia, you have someone else to call upon, to Netta, when you're doing programs in New York. And when she comes to New York, she's probably going to want to touch base with you, and how she can make her trip as successful as possible, because she has such a warm, golden heart. She always wants to do good, right?
Yes,
I know this about you, Netta.
Love to introduce everyone at the consulate to you. If you come to New York and meet you, it would be definitely a privilege and honor.
As long as the corona is still here and also in New York, I don't think I'm going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, you're immune now, at least for some while. When Netta did our Heroes Zoom for American Friends of Kaplan, she told us that she just recovered. She was one of Israel's recoveries from corona, right?
Yes, I was number 369, and that's what happens when you go to Purim party at Ben Gurion University at Be'er Sheva. Everyone, all the university gets ill.
And there were thousands at that Purim party, right?
Thousands, 5,000.
5? Wow.
Yes.
They know how to party in Israel.
Absolutely.
So Michael, thoughts, questions? We have Netta with us. Anything on your mind, Michael? Okay. Well, listen, guys, we had a half an hour together where we got a chance to meet each other and hear from Netta. And to me, this is the most beautiful thing we can do as young professionals connecting. I'm so honored and happy that Steve Schimmel joined us as a connection, as the continuing chain of YJLC activities, and Asya, who has an amazing program for young professionals, again, attended something that I helped organize, so you know the quality of the programs, which are unique. Aren't they unique? So we invite you to be part of our leadership, our national leadership, Asya, as we do programs to connect Jewish young professionals. So Netta, one of the things which I was talking with you about, and as we've been talking individually with our leaders, is that the American Jewish world has a great challenge with this COVID-19. And particularly the great challenge comes in September with the high holidays. Our synagogues, which people don't realize the importance of synagogues in every community, is really the glue that holds the Jewish community together, even when they're downplayed. And I'm saying this not saying that young professionals run to shul, but this is something that's part of our ongoing community center all over. And synagogues now are wondering, what are they going to do come Rosh Hashanah? Because this year, we can't have hundreds or even thousands of Jews coming together for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's just not going to happen. Many have been going, like all of us, to Zoom. And the question is, what's going to happen with face-to-face contact? So we're dealing with this with one of our partners, Rabbi Ron Brown, who heads up an amazing organization called Synagogue Connect. He started about 4 years ago, and he offered to synagogues around the country and around the world, why not let young adults come to shul for high holidays for free without dealing with membership issues? We want them to come in the door. And we developed a program for the last 3 years of a 10-minute meetup during Rosh Hashanah for young adults can meet each other. And as Rabbi Ron Brown says, he gets them in the door, and YJLC does a leadership component, connecting them with each other and for larger purposes of developing their own leadership in the Jewish community and enhancing the connection with each other. So this year is radically different with COVID-19. And what I'm talking with Rabbi Ron Brown about, and with all of you here, even our non-Jewish leaders who have a love for Israel and a love for the Jewish people, we can be as you do with Operation Unit 669, can be out there at the different synagogues with a core group of young adults to lead the Jewish community, say, yes, it's okay to be in shul. And what we're looking to do, again, with our leadership component, our friends in leadership at the grassroots, with those of our core team with YJLC, and with synagogues that we're connected with, and the thousands of synagogues connected with Synagogue Connect, our partners with AEPI and other partners, to provide places, different synagogues that to join us, where we'll get maybe 1 million of young adults at different synagogues around. So this is what we're working on right now. We want our young professionals on our core team to be aware of this and to help make this happen in different places where we're at. And the coolest part of all this, Netta, which you and I've talked about, is while we're doing this in America, you could be doing it in Jerusalem or Beersheba, and with your alumni, 669 alumni, they might want to take control of this, say, hey, we'll have 1 million of young professionals at this show and this show and this show in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv and in Bat Yam, in Beersheba, in Sfat, wherever, and we'll do something globally, which can be done in this amazing Zoom age. So I'm throwing this out there, and it can be done in central Massachusetts as well, right? Yes. This is powerful. It's powerful. The long-range goal of this program, which we've been working on YJLC for the last number of years, is that twice during the year when Jewish identity is most on our minds, both high holidays and during Pesach time, well, 2 times a year where we get groups of young adults together in cities around the country, and we give them an opportunity to make new friends, connect with the Jewish community, connect with the Jewish world, connect with Israel, and to stretch their legs in their own leadership development. So this is the goal. And Netta, thank you for being an important part of this. And thank you, Kylie, and your friend Ilan, and Michael, and Asya now, and Jared, who had to go work for the phone company that he's with, T-Mobile. And it's so good to see my good friend Steve Schimmel back and forth with us and helping us grow. And and Sarah and Sophia. We have a tremendous future ahead of us, and it really is dependent on your engagement. So I've given my speech. Any comments, any thoughts?
Thank you so much, and thank you, Netta, also big thank you. I hope you always feel comfortable to call on us as your friends if we can ever do anything for you. And thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Thank you, Asya.
Thank you, Lou.
Okay, without
Nice to
further
meet you.
ado, I'll excuse you all who need to go. It's
Bye-bye.
10 minutes to 11, and anyone who wants to stay on, I'm happy to chat for another minute or two. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So, Asya, you've seen another program. Mike, you see what we're about. Does it make more sense now?
Yep, makes more sense now. Yeah.
And you see they're from different parts of the country too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is powerful stuff. This is really powerful stuff. One thing we've done for our 34 years of YJLC activities is there's no geographical boundaries to what we do. And it's all dependent on dynamic young professionals like you who say, hey, I want to give a little bit of time to this. I don't want to devote my life to this, but a little bit of my time when it's convenient. And we found the most convenient time for you, Mike, right?
Yep.
Well, I just wanted to ask another question. So I
Sure.
didn't really want to do this during the program, so I didn't want to take time away, but I'm just wondering, and forgive me if I did join 10 minutes late, so I'm sorry if I missed this, but Netta, I'm just wondering, you as somebody who's gone through your experience, and you see there's young people in all over the world that want to stay connected, or like, I think for me, like we want to maximize impact, like how can we help the most? So I guess my question is, when you're thinking about the young people all over the world, what are you thinking? Do you ever have a moment like, oh, I wish they could just do this. I wish they would just be focusing on this idea to help Israel in general and the units and people like yourself?
It's a good question. I can tell you that when I was in Taglit during the army, so I was in a group that was 21 to 29.
Taglit is birthright. Israelis call birthright Taglit.
Taglit, yes. And I saw Jewish friends as my age and older than me that are not connected at all to Israel, and don't. It was 90% of the group first time in Israel, and they are really, really have a hunger to know more about the army and how we live here, and they all love Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, many want to travel a lot. So I think the first thing is that people are not aware of what's going on here. And this is my my feeling, but maybe I'm wrong, just from what I saw these days. How can you people can help? I'm not sure.
I think if I can, Asya, you're asking what kind of specific projects would be of importance to that Netta could think about. And if I can just take the liberty of doing that, there's thousands of different projects that can be done in Israel. It's all dependent on who you have as a contact there who wants to be your partner to make things happen. But what Netta's talking about is a larger story. There's, I don't know, 700,000 young professionals who've had a taste of Israel who've gone back to the States. what can we do here to connect them with each other and connect them to Israel? And you're doing a big part of that yourself with Hebra. And it's beautiful what you're doing. But this is the whole reason and whole vision of YJLC, to connect these young adults and with no resources for 35 years, with no resources, and do amazing programs, connect them with each other outside of the boundaries, the geographical boundaries we have, and have them meet people like Netta, and have them make friends with people like Netta, and make personal connections. Netta was telling me about her friend that she met on the bus, and she goes visit her in Miami. And this is all the personal connections. So this is what we're about with YJLC, taking this challenge of all these hundreds of thousands who've done birthright, who have this ember in themselves, sparked, ready to grow. And honestly, Asya, I'm telling you, we have a program in place that can nurture that spark and connect young adults with each other all over the place, and take what you do and enhance that. But we need to partner a little bit better, okay?
Yeah, and I think also that makes a lot of sense. And I also I really appreciate Netta's answer too, because I kind of was looking for the more overall picture, because she's really there and she's an Israeli, and she probably can't imagine another life of not being aware of Israel. So I think actually, Netta, I really understand what you're saying with the awareness, because what I don't want as somebody who cares about Israel and the people, I don't want somebody who doesn't know anything. I don't want their first experience with Israel to be what they see on the news and how horrible Israel is and all of these crazy things. So the awareness to how beautiful Israel is, I think, is super key, especially for the young people, especially that don't know anything. So I think that was a really wonderful answer for me. I think I understand that better. And thank you, Lou, for talking about the specifics as well. So
and what you do, and I appreciate this, Asya, more than you know. You have a tremendous project of reaching out to these young people, many of them who've done birthright, and giving them constant opportunities to reconnect all the time. You do beautiful work with this. And this is what needs to be done. And we want to partner with you. We want to really partner with you and expand this and be the network, not just for what you're doing in Philadelphia, but with friends all over the country and in Israel. So I'm so glad you're here, because it reinforces things that we've talked about a number of times, right? Great. So Michael, you haven't done birthright yet, but you met someone who's a Taglit fellow, who organizes birthright, right? No, I'm talking about
Jared.
No, my son, who you spoke to.
Oh, your son, yeah, David.
Yeah. So when you have questions about birthright, you can talk with him. You can talk with Asya too, because you've led a number of missions for birthright, right?
I was going to say, you're in Philly, and I'd love to meet. I can maybe find you on Facebook or something. Are you that name on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'll do that. I'd love to connect and have you part of everything we're doing, and also be part of everything Lou's doing. And I have to go, but I just wanted to, again, thank everybody. And I hope everybody will reach out on social media and we can connect.
Wonderful. Asya, thank you again so much for being part of this.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for organizing. Okay, bye, Netta. Be safe.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
bye, Michael. Nice to meet you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Well, this reinforces me. And that, as I told you, my mind is on this all the time. And it was important that Asya was there, because she has one of the most successful programs in Philadelphia. I've introduced people within her program, in the leadership of her program, with my nephew, who's in Tel Aviv, who does a mirror program of Hebra in Israel, but we haven't been able to go beyond the discussions yet. So this is helpful to me, because you are someone who's amazing in Israel, and Asya sees again the kind of friends I have in Israel and the kind of things that we can do, and it reinforces something which is a challenge, because one of the challenges, and Mike, in terms of leadership development, one of the challenges that we have is every organization, as they say in traditional, makes Shabbos for themselves. They're just concerned about what their organization does. So it was very nice that Asya said, I want you to be part of Chevra, which is what she was saying, which is phenomenal, and you can continue with YJLC as well. And you should, and also we should do more collaboration with an understanding of what we do YJLC-wise, which is not so easy to conceptualize, because we're not like other organizations. They have a place where they do things, a regular membership, attendees, things like that. We're doing something very, very different. We're dealing with individuals who are leaders in themselves, and we have a concept of not just where you are now, Michael, but where you will be 5 years and 10 years from now, where hopefully with experiences you have with us will help you build to be a point where Rabbi from Beth Am, I'm blocking.
Rabbi Lieb.
Rabbi Lieb will say, Michael, I want you to lead our program here at Beth Am because I know you do things nationally. And I'll tell you, this is what I've been involved doing for years and years and years, helping young professionals lead in different issues where it's their interest and their desire. So I thank you for continuing on. And Netta, you see what I do now. You see real life, amazing young professionals.
Absolutely.
And thank you for being a partner with this as well.
Thank you, Netta, and thank you, Lou, for organizing. Thanks so much for sharing your stories with us, and giving us more insight into really what is going on in Israel, and what the dual life is like. Definitely, wearing those important hats, and picking them up and putting them down, and definitely hope you're enjoying 27. I just turned 25, so yeah, I'm definitely having some fun right now, and I'm looking forward to being in Israel probably next year once COVID-19 is behind us, which I'm sure it will be. I know that right away Israel research centers and researchers were already seeing results right from the get-go when they were trying to treat it and vaccinate for it. So that always excites me when I see the science and technology coming out of Israel. So love it. Love reading those, those news articles and updates from some of my favorite institutions out in Israel. I think the strongest institutions in the world. So thank you for your stories, and thanks Lou for organizing this and showing me what you guys organize every 2 weeks or so. So I have a thing at 11, so I gotta run.
Good to have you on, Mike. And let's think about this. Now that you're friends with Netta, maybe we can arrange when she might want to see her friends in New York and come to the Poconos and meet us, perhaps in August. If we can put this together, I need you and half dozen other guys to make a phenomenal experience for us. If we can pull that together.
Yeah. If we can pull it together, then yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Or you can come to Israel, to Yarden River. We will do camping.
We can do that too. Okay, toda rabba. Mike, thank you. And Ned, I want to get your reactions after we say goodbye to Mike. Mike, thank you.
No.
Okay. So, what's your thoughts? You see what I do, right?
Yes, I see what you do. I think it's very, very important. I think you can see that there are people that are more committed to it, like Asya.
Asya.
Yes, and people respect you. If they don't respect you, they wouldn't be here. So it's very nice. And they need to bring their friends.
Right.
They to this is the biggest mission, to add more people, and this is their mission because the people are on their age, not your ages.
Right.
How was my English? Tell the truth.
You were beautiful. You were beautiful. And I'll tell you, I was watching their eyes as they were listening to you. They were enthralled by, really, really. I mean, you came across clearly understood, and they saw, and this is the thing that's most important to me. They saw the real you, and they saw, they learned about Israel, and that you're a normal young professional like them, but you had awesome responsibilities, and then you left those to go to school, and then you continue. And part of our challenge here in America is that everyone is most concerned about themselves.
Yes.
And these who you met are the ones who care about Israel, about community, and they're all engaged in lots of different things, but most of their friends are the 700,000 who came back, who would like to, but you know, you're absolutely right. These guys you met need to bring their friends involved to understand what we're trying to do, what this project YJLC is about, and help us succeed. And then we'll be doing what you were talking about. We need to get these young adults engaged, and you're being a big part of helping us do that. And I learned about what you're doing with the 669 unit, and this could be something for, in a ways, of therapy for those who want to feel that they're doing something to improve the America-Israel relationship. And it's things what they'll want to do anyway to see their folks at shul, right?
Absolutely.
You're amazing. Your smile, it's beautiful, and I'm just so happy that you spent time with me and are part of what we're trying to do.
תודה על ההזדמנויות, תודה רבה.
Okay, so we'll talk later, and I thank you very much.
Sure, anytime, Lou. I am your best friend from Israel.
And I want to be your best friend too, anytime. And I'll tell you, if you just need to call and say hi, and I want to get out, I do this all the time. I need to talk with someone so I can, when you postpone something you have to do, procrastinate. I love talking to people and procrastinate. If you need to procrastinate, just give me a call and say hello. Or unload something, okay?
תודה רבה.
Okay, תודה רבה.
Okay, so we'll keep
שבוע טוב.
שבוע טוב, להתראות.
להתראות.